Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Death card. Don't get scared. This is not a bad card at all. This is the fundamental force in the universe. This is the card of change. This should be called the change card, or the evolution card, or the transformation card, or the rebirth card, or the growth card, because that's what it is. Okay, it's the fundamental force of change in the universe, and death is slow and steady. It's going to get to everybody eventually, right? It's not in a hurry, right? And so I feel that you are right now in an energy of kind of shedding skin. You're sort of molting right now, you know. I feel like you are ready to emerge into your new life, that you feel that you've been going through some difficult things. It's all been for a reason, and you're starting to finally shed some of that energy. Okay? I think you're somebody who is really aware of themselves and really aware of reality. You know, I feel like you're letting go of a lot. You're in a process maybe of purging. Yeah. I also feel like you're a very trustworthy person. Yeah. I think you would consider yourself a trustworthy person, that you can be relied upon to do the right thing, even if it's difficult. And sometimes the right thing is moving on, letting something go, letting someone go, and moving forward in life. Okay. Now, this is a very good card. We're going to put it into some context, and I'll show you just what I mean. You got a 5 of Wands here. We got the Leo, the Lust or Strength card. Look at that, 7 of Cups in the background. This is what we're letting go of. This is everything that you're molting. This is all the slimy residue that's just done. You're moving forward past that, you see. And the Magician. Now we've got this major arcana. This is a spiritually charged awakening for you. And we've got, of course, as always, we've got your Aries energy. In the last few readings, I don't know if you've been keeping up, but for Pisces, there's been this idea of you're sort of evolving into this Aries energy. It's the final stage on the wheel of the zodiac, right? Pisces, and then we move back into Aries again. And that's what we see here. We see the evolution, the transformation, the becoming, the growth, right? The slow, steady evolution growing into that Aries energy. And this fire energy and this passion down below, the courage, the lust card, you know, it's all right in line with that. That you are shedding your old skin, and you're becoming a butterfly, you know? I mean, as cliche as that sounds, see, change, yeah. It's all about change right now. We've got the 8 of Swords still to deal with. We have a 3 of Pentacles and a 7 of Wands. So this is sort of the growing pains of your new self, okay? And wow, this, it's really, really good things are coming your way, especially with this Magician card up here, that you're now you're the orchestrator, you're the conductor, you're the architect of your own reality. Yeah, I like the idea of conductivity here. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down here, and we're going to put our boba tea right down on top. The boba tea is, my daughter gave it to me. She knows that I drink a lot of tea in my readings here, so she gave me her little toy boba tea to have. and or at least I can borrow it, I guess. But it's interesting because that's a reference to what this channel used to be called. My very first 2 or 3 videos were very different. And the channel was called something else, and that's a clue. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll see if you remember or if you could figure it out. I don't think those videos are still on YouTube at all, so you might not be able to guess, and that's okay. It's embarrassing. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it down in the comments. We can do it together. We can make it a group exercise. Let's take a look around the room. We've got, of course, our pillar of spiritual energy. You're becoming a pillar of spiritual energy in your life, and that's really nice. And that's really amazing. Spirit's telling me there's a connection with frogs. I don't know the frog connection with you. Symbol of luck, symbol of becoming, right? Perhaps. So we've got our major arcana, and this is the magician, through change, achieving this power. This is the creative engine. This is the creative power of the magician, right? Because these are all your good ideas, right? This is your courage, your bravery. This is you with a confidence that you can create your reality, okay? And of course, we see the death card is sort of helping us with this spiritual ascension, but also helping us in this horizontal movement. In other words, this is a spiritual leveling up for you, but it's also a way that you are pushing further into your life, on this, in your worldly life, the horizontal realm, and making a lot of progress there. So we see our major arcana. We've got, of course, fire, fire, fire. We got a little bit of water behind us. Now, today's not been a good day for water. All the readings that I've done today, not a lot of water energy. Yeah, interesting. And then, of course, we've got our air here. We've got our earth and our earth. Now, with the fire and earth type of thing that we're doing, here we got fire and earth, and here we have fire and earth. Okay, this is the spiritual electrical circuit of creation. It's from impulse to behavior. It's from inspiration to implementation, will to action. It's heaven to earth, right? It is that spiritual electrical circuit of creation, yeah. And what we need to do is find the right conductor. They say water's a good conductor of electricity, right? We don't see a lot of water here, so I think that if we do have this electrical circuit of creation, we're getting rid of the water that was preventing us from achieving our goals. In other words, preventing the fire and earth from connecting in that spiritual circuit, right? So we're getting rid of any of the impurities in the water. Now, we don't have any water here, not because there's an absence of love or an absence of creativity or an absence of spirit or connection. No, it's because there's no more impurities. We've gathered them up all here, and we've clarified the soup. This is gone. We're fine now. Okay. The other thing that we do have to deal with, though, is a little bit of the air energy left over. Right? And if we can purify the air and the water, then we have this perfect conduit. We become a clear channel of that spiritual energy, of that divine light, going from heaven down to earth. And what that is, it creates in us the magician. We become the magician. See, we have our one wand is upraised, we're receiving the divine light, and we are able to manifest it into the world. We become that pure channel, that clear conduit. We become the perfect conductor of electricity. And I use that as a pun. Conductor of electricity, but also the orchestra conductor, the train conductor, the magician, the one that is conducting this spiritual electricity down to the earth realm. Okay, and this is beautiful. And you're becoming the magician. You're becoming the perfect conductor. Yeah, that's very, very good. The 5 of Wands right now, there's still a struggle to let go of what that 7 of Cups is. There's still a struggle to let go of what this 8 of Swords is. It could be the same thing. They could be very closely connected, those two cards. I don't know if it has to do with maybe a relationship that's we're letting go of. I feel like it's all a bunch of stuff. It's like a bunch of things that we've accumulated, and we're getting rid of it all. And it might literally be that. You might have a bunch of boxes of stuff that you've been meaning to throw out for a long time. Now's the time to get rid of it. Okay. This is the card of action. This is the card of knowing, of taking action. It's a card of knowing sort of how much action to take. You know, being in control of our efforts. It's not just, I'm just so mad, I'm just throwing all this stuff away. No, we're in control of it. And we know that we're very calm. And we're letting go of what we need to let go of. And we're dealing with what we need to deal with so that we can sort of finish this process of molting right now. And, you know, like any kind of a cicada or a snake or something, they molt several times, right? Praying mantises. It's not just one and done. You know, it's a process that takes place very, relatively frequently, or on a regular basis, I guess I should say. And this is one of those times for you. Now, Spirit's showing me some bundles of herbs or flowers, some kind of dried plant material you tie together. Yeah, you make these sort of bundles, yeah. Let's quickly do an oracle of the radiant sun. Let's see if this will give us a clue as to what your present work really is. What is the situation that we are molting, right? What is it that we're letting go of here and here? These are the two things that we need to be done with, that we need to leave behind. These are the things that we are purging in this spiritual awakening for you. This particular round of molting, of shedding your skin. Okay, Radiant Sun Oracle card, a quarrel. A quarrel. A fight, a conflict. That's the Five of Wands, right? Five of Wands is a card called strife. It's a card of fighting. It's a card of quarreling, right? So maybe this is really letting go of something that is just not worth us fighting for anymore, right? Or fighting with, or wrestling with, right? And by letting go of this, we can focus on our upward trajectory and our forward trajectory, right? We're kind of going out and up here in this fashion. We're going this way. So it could be that's what the Five of Wands is saying, and the Death card is saying, that we've got to let go of something, that maybe somebody offended you, there's some kind of friction between somebody, maybe it's a relationship, there's just constant arguing, quarreling, fighting, conflict. Maybe it's time to let go of all that. Maybe it's time to pack up those boxes and just get rid of all that baggage. Okay. The Leo energy underneath everything, the lust or strength card, this is your courage to do just that. This is you realizing that you are more than capable of living and thriving, in life without that baggage here. And maybe it's hard to get rid of some of this energy, even if it is a quarrelsome energy, because it feels so comfortable. Because then we would find ourselves alone, But this is a card that maybe even is saying that this quarrelsome energy, whatever it is, if it's at work, if it's at home, if it's at school, if it's a family member or whatever, a relationship, this quarrelsome energy is actually preventing you from becoming the creative and expressive person that you are. It's sort of a blockage on both paths. We want to go to this Aries path, and we want to rise up here to this magician, and the really one and the same. But this quarrelsome energy is blocking us, is preventing our further spiritual and human evolution. And it's sort of summed up back here. This is like that, the ectoplasm stuff. We got to get rid of that. And this is toxic energy. And I think you're recognizing that whatever we're calling the quarrelsome energy, is toxic to you. It is preventing you from really thriving and being healthy and growing and prospering. We know we got to let go of it. Sometimes it's not easy because it's familiar, because it's a friend, because it's, something that we at one time probably liked. It could be that this is the realization that something wasn't as good for you as you thought. Everybody, it's like that episode of Seinfeld where everybody's just eating the non-fat frozen yogurt or whatever, and they're just saying this is healthy. I can't believe there's no fat in this, and they're just eating, tons of it, the whole episode, right? It turns out it's not very good for you. It turns out that it wasn't fat-free, but it feels like that. It's something that we thought was perfect and warm. We let ourselves open up and enjoy it. We let this person in, we let this energy in, and we were wrong. And that happens sometimes. That's okay. Happens to the best of us. And it's important that we put this behind us and we learn to just kind of forgive ourselves, forgive the person, and just let go. I want the mystery card to be the Fool card, right? I want to see that that energy is being let go of and that we're ready for this new life moving forward, which is a magician life. This is where you're able to sort of, I think, accurately understand things and understand people. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to let that Seven of Cups happen again. That we are focused on our spiritual growth and our human growth, right? Whatever you want to call it, our worldly ambitions. We're going to create the life that we want. And I think that's like, you can't imagine what's coming your way. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be whatever you want. It's going to be your creation. You're the conductor, right? And you think of a conductor of the orchestra, I don't know, something like this, right? It's just kind of like, let's go faster or slower, Let's change, let's get the tuba going over here. Let's get the timpanis and the other drums and stuff rumbling over here. Let's bring it, Like you're conducting this orchestra and making your own kind of music, really. I feel like this is also sort of to me, a train conductor in a way. I think that's a good way to look at this card because we can sort of control the speed of where we're going, how fast, how slow we're getting there, but we're on a track, right? And sometimes we want to speed up to get away from some toxic stuff. We're in a bad neighborhood, let's go faster, get out of here. Other times, we really love where we are. It's so beautiful. We're going through like Minnesota or something, and let's slow the train down. I enjoy the people I'm with. I enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm going to go a little bit slower. And I'm going to try to take it easy. I don't want my days to go by so fast. Sometimes I do. But other days, like today, I like my days to go slow. Because I want to just enjoy the scenery. We don't always have to be full speed ahead. And so in that sense, we sort of are able to control that. But in a way, we're still on a track. And now as a train conductor, you can sort of call ahead or switch the tracks and get on different tracks and stuff. I don't know how all that stuff works, but trains are a fascinating component of our infrastructure here in the world. And I love them. I like riding on them. But, we can sometimes change course. But really it's a matter of, faster or slower. Yeah. But this, I think, gives us a sense of being in control. This gives us a sense of being responsible for the experience that we have. And we're sort of the architect of our own reality. We're the conductor of our own lives. And it may be that we have this idea of fate and destiny. There's also a freedom in that. Okay, this is us with the wisdom to sort of know where we're going and to kind of intuitively know now's the period of time where I've got to speed up a little bit. I think you're speeding up. I think you're speeding away from this, and this is sort of the card of speeding up, right? This is the Knight of Wands, fire on fire. This is the Aries energy. And this is really a way that you are trusting yourself. I think that you've gone through this, and the Magician also is the card of learning, right? So you're learning your lesson from this experience, this quarrelsome energy. So in the future, you're able to trust yourself that you're going to give that a wide berth next time, that you're going to go around this sort of quarrelsome energy. Because the Knight of Wands is a very trusting energy. It's kind of saying, like, I trust myself that I can just go forward and be okay. It's trusting, when you ride your bike really, really fast, and it's kind of scary because you're just thinking at any moment I'm going to fall off or I'm going to fly over the handlebars. It's scary, right? I remember as a kid, like you reach a certain speed on your bicycle and you start to get scared. But this is This is the confidence that you can fly through life fast. You can go as fast as you can, full speed ahead. And you know that it's going to be okay. You know that you're going to, it's like you trust the train, or the rider trusts the horse trusts the rider. There's a mutual trust here. We're trusting our bodies, we're trusting our instinct or our impulses, and we know that we're leading ourselves to the correct place. We're doing the right thing. There's the confidence here, for sure. Yeah. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything, and it supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. So we're going to talk about the Two of Pentacles here. Things are changing in your life. I think the Seven of Cups is giving way to something much better. Okay? I think that if things were down, they will be up. If things have been less, there will be more. Okay? If things have been difficult, they will be easy. I feel like things are sort of turning into their opposite. The toxicity that we're moving away from, I think, is opening you up to such joy and beauty and love. Yeah. And you're understanding kind of the, it's all part of the journey, The Two of Pentacles is you taking positive steps toward kind of what's meant for you in life. In this fire to earth process of creation, we're purifying the water. Now it's time to purify the mind. Okay? And sometimes the mind gets wrapped up in this Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is like an interference. It's kind of like there's static in the mind a little bit. There's too much analysis. It's almost as if there's too much thought and not enough action. It's kind of like this is some dust in the circuit board that's preventing the circuits from really operating properly, And I think both in our physical existence and in our spiritual existence, too much interference from the mind is going to prevent us from really evolving in the right way. We put too much thought into things, and we end up sort of hindering our own growth, right? This is in the position of your environment too. So I feel like we've got to get past this. Well, one, dwelling on what that Seven of Cups was. Okay, we don't want to get stuck trying to analyze that. So we let that go. Then we realize that we have to open ourselves up to other people, to new experiences. Okay, after this, we don't see any other water in the reading. We have to open ourselves up to love again. Just because this is sour doesn't mean every fruit we taste is going to be sour. Okay, so we're trying not to understand, trying not to figure it out, trying not to worry about it or reason it out, and just let it go, right? Unwind the mind with this one, and realize that if we have an open mind, then we can bring in all of this love and joy, that we attract all this love and joy. Okay. In some ways, this is us being so wrapped up in our heads and so closed off mentally that we're keeping out all of the toxic water, yeah, toxic people, relationships, yeah. But we're also keeping out all the good stuff, right? So we got to unwind the mind. We got to open our mind up a little bit, okay? Not everybody in your life is going to be the same as that Seven of Cups. And that's very, very important to remember. The Three of Pentacles, this is the position of what we don't want. It's kind of like we're a little bit nervous to enter into more combinations with people, let's say, right? Because we have this sort of, we almost like things to just be theoretical, because once it gets down to the practical thing, that's when the trouble starts. It's like I like the idea of being in the partnership, but I just want to keep it as an idea that I can think about or feel, I don't want to actually try it because something's going to go wrong. There's going to be something about it. It's not going to be perfect. This is the idea in our mind of anything that is going to be different than what we get. Okay? We have this ideal of perfect love, but then when we get all the love that we experience on the manifested plane, there's imperfections there. It's not exactly 100% perfect. It doesn't completely match my ideal. Nothing will on this manifested plane. You know, we have this idea of perfection, but perfection is not possible in manifestation. There will always be flaws and imperfections that I think add to the beauty of life, the uniqueness of every experience, of every moment. But sometimes we'd rather just keep things in our head as an ideal. It's kind of like you're talking to somebody far away. You never met them. You have this idea in your head of who they are, what they're like, And it's almost like you don't want to meet them because it's not going to be the same as what you're imagining. Yeah. And that might be part of what's going on with you. There is an animal, I think, that sleeps with you at night, cat or a dog, right? Or maybe something else. Sometimes we have to be willing to take our chances in the physical world, knowing that it's not going to be like in my head. Okay. The Seven of Wands, I think, is us dealing with that. The Seven of Wands is you continuing to push forward, continuing to struggle. If that was the end of the road, then we would just say, well, everything is just going to exist in my head, and I'm not going to do anything in life. I don't want to try, I don't want to create anything because I just want it to be an image in my head. And sometimes it is like that. Sometimes we have this idea of this perfect, like, painting that we want to paint. We're not going to paint it. It's the best idea we've ever had, but I'm not going to paint it because it's not going to come close to what I can see in my mind. Yeah. But this, we're trying it anyway. And we know that the odds are against us finding perfection, but we just keep doing it. We keep trying, right? This is us using the tools at our disposal to manifest something as closest to our ideal as possible. And this is sort of you as the conductor or the architect of your life, right? And you know that as an architect, you've got the beautiful plans. You've mocked it up on the computer program, whatever, 3D models of this perfect life, this perfect house. But you know that you do the plans, everything's perfect, right? Just absolutely perfect. But you give it to the contractor, and then you're going to go around after it's built, and you're going to say, that's a little bit off, and that's not quite right. There's going to be these little imperfections. It's just the way it goes. Nothing is ever produced or reproduced perfectly from the plans, from the idea, from the image, from the source material, I used to transfer my files from here in the studio directly to my computer server over my Ethernet. I'm going to get kind of technical. I used to transfer it over the Ethernet to my server, and I'd whatever it is, verify the files, right? It'd be same file size, files are checked, everything's fine, no corruption, perfect, right? But then I was putting videos out, and maybe you remember, I was putting videos out, there'd be a little pixelation, or I'd be talking and then suddenly something will go fuzzy right here and then it'll stop and it'd be like, what was that? Little artifacts, And even though it seemed like it was a perfect connection, and from what I could see, the file size was the same, and I ran a check on it. It was perfectly uncorrupted. All the data, all the little chunks of data were there. But when you look at it, there's these little artifacts. There's these little blips and little fuzzy things and stuff. And it's because I was going through the Ethernet, because I should have just taken the file on the hard drive, taken it directly to the computer and done it that way. And now it's problem solved, right? But that's the idea, that it's just you're making a copy of a copy, and it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be little imperfections in it. And I'm sure there are still imperfections in the videos that I have now. Maybe they're just imperceptible. Or maybe I just don't notice anymore, right? And so that's part of the work too. But the Seven of Wands is very interesting because it's about you pushing forward. It's about having the fight and realizing that we're making our life as we go. We are creators, right? And this is you kind of fighting for everything that you want in your life, letting go of this other energy, purifying the heart and the mind here really opens you up to that creator architect energy. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Mystery card now. Either the Fool or some good water energy. Let's see what we have. Two of Swords. Okay. All right. Well, the Two of Swords is good because it is opening us up to this. That maybe the Two of Swords is sort of, blindfolded, right? Because we're not looking at the imperfections. We don't care about that. We want to know if the essence, if this is something that resonates with us. It may not even look like what we've envisioned, but if it resonates with us, isn't that more important? And so this is not a reliance on the intellect, but on that lunar energy, the vibe, the resonance, the psychic perception. Eyes are closed. I'm holding my swords back, and I'm just feeling this. If this feels right, you can feel the aura or the essence of things. Yeah. This is how you're moving forward, not in this, not so much in the intellectual energy, but you're gonna know when you resonate with people. And so it's better to sort of close your eyes and just feel it, right? And feel that resonance. Either you do or you don't. Yeah. This is really good. I like this one. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Pisces are on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.